Hello and welcome back. In one of our previous videos, we talked about the choreography design pattern and we learned how we can use it to build event-driven services. In this video, we will actually build such a service using the NATS messaging system and our favorite Apache Camel framework. So before going further, let's just try to have a high level understanding of what NATS is. So NATS is a high performance messaging system designed for cloud native applications. It provides lightweight communication with support for publish, subscribe, request reply, and queuing patterns. NATS boasts simplicity, scalability, and resilience, making it ideal for microservices architectures and distributed systems. It ensures fast and reliable message delivery with minimal overhead, making it a popular choice for modern cloud applications. So I like to see or I like to think NATS as a message broker. It can be considered a message broker. It allows communication between different components of a distributed systems by routing messages between publishers and subscriber. However, it distinguishes itself from traditional message brokers by its lightweight design, simplicity, and high performance, making it particularly well suited for cloud native and microservices architectures. So in this video, I'm not gonna talk more about NATS, but what we'll we'll try to build a use case event driven service, okay, where we'll be using NATS and Apache Camel framework. So in the workshop, what we really like to do is we like to build a event driven service. Okay, let's just assume it's some sort of e-commerce service where we have a user. What user is doing, basically user is creating an order. It's basically it goes to cart, picked up some items, and it has done checkout. So after doing the checkout, what user is going to do is it's going to publish an event. Think it as a choreography design pattern. In choreography design pattern, what's happening is each service, each microservice or component is publishing an event, and then after that it has published an event, other services, other microservices or components can consume those events and derive their workflow. So in this particular use case, as you can see, my user has clicked on checkout, and the user module or user microservice has published an event, and this event, let's assume it has been published to NATS message broker. Once a message has been published or event has been published, let's say I have a order manager microservice or order manager component. It can subscribe or listen for all the events which are of type checkout. What order manager will do once it has received checkout event, okay, it knows, okay, there is a user which has created order or like to create order. It will simply say do all the verifications, the product is valid, user is valid, etc, etc. Once it's happy, it will publish an event called order created. In this workshop, we are just going to look at happy path. I'm not going to do exception handling, etc. But if there are exceptions, of course you will publish maybe checkout cancelled or checkout deleted or checkout is not valid, whatever that means. Okay, let's say in a happy path scenario, I have now managed to create order created, okay, and then I have published an event. Once I have published event, another microservice can consume that event. Okay, who will be interested typically in an e-commerce website? When order has created, next thing we want to do is we like to make a payment or we like to receive a payment from our customer. So let's assume that order created event has now been consumed by payment system microservice. Okay, so payment system microservice has now consumed or received this particular event. It will run its workflow, i.e. it will probably talk to a payment gateway, will try to take the payment on behalf of that particular customer. Once payment is successful, what our payment system module will do? It will publish an event saying payment received. Okay, so once payment received event has been published again into this message bus or message broker, another service can now pick up this particular event. Let's say in our workflow, that next service is delivery manager. Delivery manager say, aha, payment is successful, now I can ship this order. So once delivery manager manage to allocate the stock and ship the order, etc, etc, towards the end it can say, item is delivered. And now delivered will be again published to this central messaging bus or message broker. After that, there can be another service like, let's say, acknowledgement module. It can carry on. You got the idea, like, okay, so we are sending events one after another service or services are consuming those events, and then they are kind of deriving their workflows. Okay, so let's say we want to build this particular use case. Okay, it's a quite complex use case, as you can see, but what we will do, basically we'll try to build this use case using NATS and Apache Camel, and I'm going to show you the power of both of these systems and how easily you can build this particular system. So let's go to NATS CLI. Okay, and from there, first what we try to do is we'll try to kind of start the server, NATS server, and then just try to kind of subscribe, publish a few things, try to monitor those topics, and after that we'll write some Apache Camel code which will kind of combine these things. We'll write user module, order manager, payment system, delivery manager. I'm not going to spend whole day over here. In next 2-3 minutes you will notice like how we can quickly build these things. So first thing you would like to do is you would like to install NATS server. So what I have done over here is I am using Docker. Okay, so using Docker, I'm going to run the NATS server. So how do you do that? So this is my Docker compose file. I said image is NATS, and I'm taking the latest. Okay, and then I have given the name, and then these are some ports which we like to listen to. This one is primarily used by the message brokers. Okay, our clients, the consumers and publishers. All right, so this file is ready. Let's go to our command prompt over here. So I'm gonna run docker compose up -d nats. Okay, that's it. So this is the only command I have. All right, so as you can see, the NATS server has been started. Let's just quickly go to our Docker desktop, and you can see over here NATS has been started 7 seconds ago, 12 seconds ago, just now. Alrighty, so at this point it's looking all good. Our NATS server has been started. So one thing we can do is just to kind of quickly verify it. In NATS there are several ways in which you can kind of subscribe to topics. You can listen to those topics. You can listen for specific topics, or you can listen for everything. So I'm gonna do a few things over here. I'm gonna run over here a command, a CLI, where I would like to listen to all the messages which are coming or leaving NATS. Okay, that can be used for, let's say, troubleshooting, debugging purposes. So let's do that. So what we need to do is then we just need to say NATS NATS sub. Okay, and there is a pattern called greater than sign. Okay, what you can do is when you run this, you can listen to all the messages which are coming into NATS or leaving NATS. Okay, which is really good for troubleshooting purposes. So I'm gonna run this command. It's saying subscribing on. It's very much like a wildcard character. It's saying I want to listen to everything. So over here in this particular window, what we are doing is we are listening to everything. Now, since we are going to build this order management system, okay, so what we can do then is we can listen to a topic which starts with order. Okay, so all the events, the way I'm thinking of creating my events is like, it can have a prefix called order, and then you can say checkout, orders.order created, or orders.payment received, order.delivered, etc, etc. Okay, so what we can do in that case is we can apply some sort of pattern, and we can say listen to everything which starts with orders, and then we'll have a specific window where we will be listening for maybe like events which are probably payment received or delivered, etc, etc. Okay, so let's do second thing over here. What we like to do then is we want to say NATS, please subscribe, and this time you subscribe to orders.asterisk. Okay, so now we are listening to this topic, and we are saying every time like any type of message comes on order topic, I want to listen to that message. And what we are doing over here, we are not applying any business logic. It's a simple CLI. We are just monitoring NATS topics. Okay, so the second window is also ready. The reason I'm doing this, I'm kind of preparing as a developer. I'm just kind of warming up myself. I'm just getting ready for my, debugging, troubleshooting, etc. Last thing what we can do is we can say, NATS, you also subscribe on, let's say, like, where when item is delivered, which is the last thing in our workflow. Okay, so every time I deliver an order, I would like to monitor it. Let's say I have a dashboard where I can listen to this particular event, and I can start publishing on that dashboard saying, oh, this particular item has been shipped, or this item, we could not ship it because there is some sort of problem. So you can just visualize what I'm trying to do over here is I'm trying to monitor various things and kind of, trying to build dashboards. Okay, of course, this is not a dashboard, but you got the idea what I'm saying. So all good. So as you can see over here, we have 3 windows. Second window, third window, fourth window. One is listening to everything. Second is listening to all orders. Third is listening to very, very specific things. Okay, so before we start writing our code, let's do one thing. Let's first just have a little feeling. So how it's going to look like. So I'm saying, NATS, you publish a message. Okay, and let's say I would like to publish on, let's send a good message first. Orders, and I'm saying checkout, and order ID is, let's start with a 0 first. Okay, I'll tell you the reason why I'm saying 0. Okay, so as you can see, one activity was received over here. Okay, which means it's listening to everything. Second activity I saw on this window where I'm saying everything which is starting with asterisk, but I did not see anything on this window. Reason being, the event which we have just published is called orders.checkout. So I am listening to checkouts, everything on order over here, everything in NATS over here, and over here is just orders.delivered. So looks like everything is working at this very point. Okay, now just to make sure what I'm saying here makes sense, let's say I'm gonna send on foo-order. So the way the CLI works basically is it's a CLI which I have downloaded. Okay, I'm publishing a message on this particular server which we started in Docker. This is our topic name. Okay, this is our topic name, and this is the message which we are sending to this particular topic, right? Okay, or you can say these are the events which I'm sending. Now, if you notice over here, I only saw activity on this particular window. Remember what I said earlier? This particular window is used to track everything going on, what's going on inside NATS. Bottom windows are specialized or more filtered views of NATS. Okay, in the window below, I'm monitoring certain thing. In another window, I'm monitoring something else. But over here, I'm monitoring everything, because in some cases, like, what can happen, as you know, somebody might have sent a message, our application might not receive it. This can be a good thing. You can go, you can troubleshoot, you can look at the things which are not working. Alrighty. So far so good at this point. So what we'll do now is, let's try to build our Apache Camel code. I'm going to clean this screen. So which means we are pretty much ready to send real messages or real events. Okay, and let's see how we can build that entire workflow. When I receive a checkout, I create order, I get a payment, and then I deliver it, and then the whole thing. Okay, let's try to put everything together using our Java code. So here is my editor. Let's close our Docker Compose. We don't need it. So I already have a application, let's say Camel application. In order to kickstart with NATS, let's add this particular dependency. Okay, the dependency is called org. The group ID is org Apache Camel Springboot. It's my Springboot application in where in there I'm using Camel framework. Okay, so if you are using Springboot application, that is the dependency which is recommended. If you have non-Springboot application, then there are other dependencies. Okay, you can go and check on the Apache Camel website and you will be able to find the right dependency for your application. Okay, so let's try to increase font a little bit over here. So group ID this, artifact ID camel -nets -starter. And as far as version is concerned, you will be using the same version which you have for your Camel framework in your pom.xml file. If I hover my mouse, you will notice at the time of recording this video, I'm using Camel version 4.4.0. Okay, you might have a better version or lower version. Hopefully it wouldn't matter much. So that is the only thing which we need in order to connect with NATS message broker. So this will give us the component, and now we should be able to connect to NATS. So let's just create our root using Java DSL. So let's call it order management system root. Okay, so it's a simple Java class. So in order to build a root, first thing what you do is declare, because it's a Spring Boot application, so first thing I'm going to declare it as a component. So service, so Spring can register it as a Spring Bean, and then Camel can also inject the Camel context. In order to build a root, you need to extend root builder. Alrighty, let's just increase the font a little bit, minimize this window. Okay, you can see there is a red line over here. It's saying I have to implement a method. Okay, let's implement a method. As you know, in Apache Camel, in order to receive something, what we call consumer, you have to use DSL called from. Okay, so as a consumer, I'm saying I want to read from something upstream. In our case, it will be NATS. Okay, so let's just do that. So I'm going to say from NATS. So this is the component which we will be using. We don't need anything else. That's the only component which we need. After that, we will have to give our topic names. And what was the topic name we said? We said order dot checkout. So if I just take you back to our workflow, what we want to do is first we want to listen this particular event. After that, we'll send this event to order manager. Order manager will do this. Then we'll write payment system, blah, blah. Okay, I'm going to write very, very simple routes to consume these things. Okay, it's not very complicated. So I said nets order.checkout, and over here I have to say servers equal localhost, and I have to give a port which I believe is 4222. Okay, so that's the default port for NATS. In your environment, it might be different. If you are doing some sort of authentication, you may have to also give a username and password. Okay, you can take a look on the URI for that particular thing. So at this point, what I'm simply going to do is I'm simply going to say dot log info. Yeah, let's do a quick static import for that. Nice. So at this point, I'm simply saying I received a checkout for in my, and I'm just going to print a body. Listen, I'm not running any validation complex business rules. I'm simply saying I am ready to consume this particular event. That's it, step by step. If I now start my application, what will happen is Apache Camel is now going to listen on this particular topic. Let's start our application. So that's the very first thing. Fingers crossed it works. Okay, so looks like our application has started without any problem, which is a good thing. Now let's go back to our shell. On the shell, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say nets publish on this particular topic. Let's try to increase this window a little bit so everything can come on one screen. Yeah, I think that should be all right. Okay, so I'm saying please publish on this topic and order ID is 1. Okay, I have sent this message on the right hand side. Yes, I can see this coming. Okay, so order ID 1 has been received. Now let's see on our console whether or not we have received this particular message. Looks like we have not received this message because I made a tiny typo. It should have been orders rather than order. Okay, apologies for little typo over here. Let's restart. Okay, hopefully this time we should be able to get our message. Let's try to clean everything. We are not storing, we are not checking duplicates. So if I send the same message using order ID 1, let's see. Okay, perfect. As you can see on route 1, I have received message and I have actually printed checkout for order ID 1. Good. So I have received checkout for ID 1. Now what we like to do is, now we like to send this particular message to another route, which can be order created. So let's just do that really quickly. Okay. So I am going to copy paste something rather than just, sitting here and writing. So there we are. So it's a quick boilerplate code I created a few minutes back. There we are. Stop our server. Let's just understand what's going on over here. Okay, disconnect. So our orders.checkout will receive this message. Then it will send to another route, okay, or another service. It can be anything over here. But over here, just remember, we are not sending anything internally. I'm sending back to topic called order created using Apache Camel. Yeah. So I received on this. Now over here, I will be basically running some sort of business logic, i.e. going to database, creating this order, maybe, sending some emails, etc., etc. And after that, I'll be publishing this event called order created. But for this particular use case, I am simply printing this on our console saying, I received it, checkout is there. I'm ready to send another event. So I have sent another event. Once I receive this event from NATS again, it might look like that I'm sending internally, but just assume these are separate routes. They are separately listening to NATS. Yeah, they have nothing to do with this internal code over here. So what's now happening is we managed to create the whole chain, i.e. all these services, they are talking to each other, they are publishing events, etc., etc. So the whole module is fully ready over here. Now let's start our application. So what we are really expecting, we are expecting this particular thing. Checkout should be sent to NATS. Order manager should be listening to this. Order manager should be publishing this event, should be coming to our message bus, i.e. NATS over here. And then the whole chain should continue. All right. So this is all good at this point. Our application has started. There is no error. Let's clean the screen, increase the font tiny bit, come back to our shell over here, clean the screen again. All right. Now I am actually going to send a proper message this time, and I'm expecting entire workflow to work, and I should be getting the delivered message at the end. Just remember, first time we were just getting checkout because things were not connected. Boom. Okay, beautiful. So what happened over here? Let's go to our application, which we just wrote. So it's saying checkout for order ID 100. Well and good. Order created event has been published, so it would have gone to NATS. Then I received another event called payment received. Well and good. And what we really wanted at the end, we said order has been delivered because I have received a successful payment. If you look at NATS, you should be seeing the same audit over here. Yeah, order checkout, payment received. Okay, and order ID is this. Order ID is 100, etc., etc. On the left hand side, I was only interested to listen to topic which was like everything which is orders dot asterisk. But on the right hand side, I was only listening to the messages or events where it was saying order got delivered. All right, so I think we just managed to build this particular use case, which is a choreography design pattern, and we have built event driven microservice really nicely using NATS and Apache Camel. I hope you enjoyed this quick workshop, and you're gonna hopefully will be trying NATS and Apache Camel to build new services. Thanks for watching. If you have not subscribed, please try to subscribe. Leave some sort of feedback and maybe thumbs up or whatever, other things people ask for. I really appreciate your time. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.